This week has been an emotional rollercoaster. Welcome to week 2 of my creative project. Last week I was just getting started, but this week I feel like I've delved a little deeper. I love how this journey can take you in a direction that you never even thought of when you were starting out. So the self-sabotage theme of this week was, I don't have a right to do this. The idea that there are people way less fortunate than me, so why should I get to tell my story? Why am I sharing this when other people's stories are more important and valid? I realised that I've suppressed a lot since being a little girl because I didn't think I was important enough or deserved to be heard. So of course this is going to come up now when I've been given the opportunity to create and share. So my task from my mentor session with Rachel this week was talking out loud, actually speaking out loud in the studio. I knew I would find this difficult, but it shocked me how much of a block there was there. I didn't speak or hold a conversation until I was in my late teens, and even then it was really minimal. I now teach and talk in front of lots of people, so I thought I was past that, but the fear that came with this task was huge. So when I was in the studio, I noticed that when I brought my focus to my throat, I got this feeling of really deep sadness and anger. There were tears running down my face, like almost instantly, and I didn't know why. It reminded me of a contemporary dance exercise I did at uni. We were told to hold our hand a few inches in front of our throat and move our body as if the throat was leading us. And I remember trying it and feeling anger almost instantly. I remember being so annoyed at the teacher and I didn't know why. So exploring this week has sparked some ideas to look at different ways I can express this feeling of not speaking and holding back and the kind of sadness and anger that comes with this. So at first I was playing with the rope being in my mouth and I was like pulling the rope forward, and then I had another idea of using a mouth coil that magicians use, and I've been playing about with different ways I can pull that forward. I'm still not happy with how it looks, but I feel like there's some potential, so I'm going to keep playing with that. Anyone who looked through the window was probably like, what the hell is going on there? Again, I've been trying to balance out the heavy stuff with fun, playful things, as my project is also about liberation. I had the urge to jump and grab the rope, so I did, and it felt really freeing, so I decided to play with this for a while. I also came up with some new sequences. It's funny that you can't plan this. When I put pressure on myself to create a new sequence, it never goes smoothly or I just stare into space, but if I'm improvising and suddenly I find something new, I can have a brand new sequence within minutes, which is exactly what happened this week. I've now got 3 brand new sequences that I'm excited to share in some online workshops. Kalina helped me with some spins with the rope this week, which I'm really excited about, but I'm keeping them to myself for now until I've explored them a bit more, but I'll definitely share them in future videos. I've also been using the book Healing Through Words, which is amazing for pulling things out of you. It's so accessible and it makes writing really enjoyable. One of the prompts that I found really powerful this week was write a letter to self-doubt, and I think it was exactly what I needed this week, and it brought up a lot that I need to explore, but it was definitely a good exercise to do. I'm finding the travel to the studio is playing a big part in the process. I've recently had to scrap my car, so what would have been a 15-minute drive is now over an hour on the bus, but actually it's given me time that I know I wouldn't spend on the project otherwise. As a travel sickness-prone person, I can't be on my phone, so it's enough time to properly binge podcast episodes around the topic that I'm exploring and different music. The only thing I've noticed is that I'm slightly flooding myself with ideas. I often do this with podcasts. I overload myself with information to the point where I'm just completely overwhelmed by everything. So when I get home, I've been napping a lot and doing things that require very little headspace. It's funny because before I started making this video, I thought I hadn't achieved much at all this week, but looking back, I did actually come a long way. In moments when I was just lying on the crash mat, there's a voice saying, you aren't making the most of this time. but it's all part of the process, and so I'm just trying to trust it and go with it. But that concludes week 2. Thank you so much for watching.